Welcome back to the Clinic Performance Method video newsletter. We're going to be real fast this one. It's going to be the world record for speed. We're doing this, in a basically 5 minutes before we start class, but we need to get the information out. First on the list, first announcement. Again, we have the Tim Watson inner install clinic, 23rd, 25th, and 30th, which I'm super excited about.
27th, I think.
27th?
Yeah.
But yeah. We're going to check that out. That is an edge for all of us. We want like inner installation of, like your mental side of architecting your practices, your intent during lifts and workouts and stuff like that. It's something I wish I always had. So that for sure. Our clinic, which would be the 27th,
7th, yeah,
at 10:30 to 12:30. You are welcome. If you're a current student, no charge. You're here. If you're not a current student, it's $99. And you can sign up for that online right there. So our two big announcements. Next thing is our Who Dat Athlete of the Week. Who Dat Athlete of the Week. Miss Raina Lewis. She is one of our newer ones too. She's newer, but I've known her for a long time. And let's speak about tenacity. Just for her to walk, so she walked on at Notre Dame, never rode before. Very strong kid, very good athlete, other sports and everything. So she goes on there, puts out some crazy great erg times. She makes the team. She makes one of the boats. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
At a Division I, Notre Dame, which is a powerhouse. So she makes one of the boats. But not only that, like the thing about her is that she also was salutatorian of her class, and I've listened to her speak. Her speaking about her life and everything. Her going to a small Christian school into a big like Notre Dame was one of the greatest speeches I've ever heard. Neat girl. I mean, we love her. She actually helps coach now at our place, and she's new. That's how great she is. She's an intern on the Notre Dame football team and has done a lot. She's just very active in the community and the church and everything. Raina Lewis, you deserve our Who Dat Athlete of the Week. All right, Next one we're going to get into is what's going on inside the four walls, and then after we'll go on the outside the four walls. All right, there we go. We set up this summer from inception. We set it. We structured it and labeled it and detailed it. So it progresses. It's comprehensive throughout the whole summer, but it's the first time we've done just the whole thing out up front. So, and really you were the main architect on this, so I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, so this past week, moving into week 5 of the summer program, we are focusing on force application. So in those first 4 weeks, we worked on giving the athlete the ability to produce force. Now we're working on applying it into the ground. So that includes rate of force production, so applying more force, and then actually taking that ability to exert a lot of force fast and actually making it applicable to the field, because it doesn't always stick to the field. There's a ton of kids that can jump high, and we deal with athletes like this all the time that can jump high and can do a lot of other things very well in terms of force testing, and they get on the field and their times are not the same as they should be, or not in the ballpark of which they should be on the field, because they can't apply force, they don't understand mechanical advantage, they can't actually apply it into acceleration. So this past week has been a lot of force application. The way we did that was kneeling starts, hands on the head starts, resisted different tensions, running 5s, running 10s, running splits, and doing a bunch of different timing. We had a couple kids run professional level times this week. Logan Perez ran a 1:18. Shane McCarter Adams ran a 1:21. Isaiah West ran a 1.20, and a couple other kids ran that 1:25 range, which was pretty cool.
It's been fun to watch Isaiah improve pretty quickly.
Yeah, very fast.
He needed it because he was so bulky and muscly, like probably from the weight room, and he needed this, and I think it's going to pay dividends this 100%. This football season.
Yeah.
But great week in review, and then we're going to go outside the four walls, and we'll wrap it up. So, outside the four walls, a couple things. We got a cool thing that we're doing on ESPN this year. If you look at our 97.3, The Locker Room with Billy Schweim. I am a co-host again this year on the Saturday show and occasionally on Sunday shows. But we added a villain to that called the Negadelphian. Right? That's actually a Urban Dictionary term for somebody who loves the Eagles, or any Philly team, but they also trash them nonstop. And it's cool, and the reason why that the way that we incorporate that at KPM is it was somebody that I knew that had a background in a dad who was a Cowboys fan and this and that, and then it turned into where we get a really good Nielsen rating is when we're arguing.
Mm-hmm.
So what we argue about is like I do sports science, my aspect, and that's kind of why I'm saying like the radio show is ramping up. We got great ratings this past year. Sponsors have blown up, so we have my segment, which is the sports science segment, is an actual segment now. Before I was a call-in or a co-host, and now we have a sports science segment. We have the Philadelphia Negadelphian also. So 2 cool things that we got going on. I think you guys should listen to it. Saturday 10 to 12. I'll be on there all season.
Damari Simeon got West Virginia offer. It's a big one.
And it's Isaiah West. If we haven't talked about that, he was a Kentucky commit. Now he just decommitted, and now he's going to Ohio State. I don't know if I ever said that before.
I don't
that's
remember,
a huge one. We didn't talk about it, but that's who Isaiah is, and he's one of the top-rated 5-star recruit in football.
If you get a new NCAA game, look out for David Washington. He's on the roster for Kentucky. Craig Walton may or may not be on the roster for LSU. I got a couple other kids at some different schools that are on that roster for the NCAA 25 or whatever they're calling it, but the NCAA game out. So it's pretty cool. We got a couple kids in the game.
This was neat about David too, that when they showed his card, and they always put like what your position is and like kind of what you're good at within that position. His never was deep threat. His card says David Washington, 6 foot, 220, 210, blah 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 blah, whatever. Deep threat. Which was really cool because he wasn't that before we got him, and now he is. He went from about a 4.6 to a kid that's running a 4.4.
4.5, right in there.
Absolutely. So it makes him a deep threat. He'll be a 4.3 kid by the time he's done.
100%.
Other than that, we got the heat has been crazy, but we got our air conditioning back, so we're in the 70s in here, having a great time, enjoying ourselves. So,
all right. That's